Hi, this is Raymond Rose. Thank you for tuning in today. Listen, I need you. I promise you. Listen to this whole podcast right to the very end, and it's going to have a really happy ending for you, regardless if you're a Costco member or not. What I'm looking to do is share with you an experience that I did about 15, maybe even 18 years ago that has saved me thousands of dollars, and that is not an exaggeration. Before we start, let me make this crystal clear to you. I am not an employee at Costco. I'm not an affiliate of Costco. I'm not making any money in any way from this podcast. I am a member of Costco, just like you might be a member of Costco. I'm an executive member, actually. But you don't have to be a member of Costco to listen to this podcast. And like I said, I promise you there'll be a happy ending at the very end. I'm just going to simply share with you exactly what I did a number of years ago. And I suggest that you do exactly what I did to see if you're going to be able to save thousands of dollars like I have. I've told this story to about 20 of my friends, probably even more. And I promise you this, every single one has switched insurance companies after the Costco once I told them of my experience. And I figured, what the heck, might as well make a podcast about this. This should take, once you've done listening to this, it should take no more than 10 minutes of your time. So let me tell you my story. Like I said, I am a Costco member. I was a regular Costco member up until this experience with the Costco insurance. I read a brochure, whatever, 15, 20 years ago that said, listen, Costco now offers auto insurance. Call this number and see if you qualify for all these different savings. So I got the phone number, I called them up. And what I did before I made the phone call, I read the article that said, before you make the phone call, get your current auto insurance policy coverage sheet. That's the document you get from your existing insurance company every year that tells you what you have for coverage, what you have for fire and theft and collision, comprehension, uninsured motorists, all those things like that. I had that piece of paper right there. I called the number that they gave me, and I'm going to give you that number in a few moments. And the representative asked me, what did I have for current coverage, and did I have, what was my deductible for my collision, all those different things. So I gave her all the information. She did not ask me. In this case, it was a woman that I was talking to. She didn't ask me what my total cost was, what my annual premium was. So she went down the entire list of everything and duplicated it. In fact, she gave me even more coverage in certain different areas. When it was all said and done, she gave me a number of just over $500. And I said, well, wait a minute, that sounds impossible. Let me go back over the coverage because my policy, I'm paying more than $900. So we went over everything. She goes, nope, that's it. Based on your driving record, which we have all that information right here in our computers, etc., your coverage is going to go from over $900 to just over $500. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, that's unbelievable. She goes, no. She goes, we don't, we sell everything. We sell the insurance all basically on a wholesale price, just like every other part of Costco does. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. Costco's goal is they collect membership fees, and their goal is to sell everything at 10% above wholesale price. That's how Costco makes most all of their money, like 88% of their corporate profits come in from the membership fees that they charge you. So I went through the whole thing, and then the person said to me, listen, if you're an executive member, you can save even more. And I knew the difference at that time between being a regular member and executive member was $50 more a year, but now it's $60 more a year. And so the person said to me, listen, if you become an executive member, not only do you get those discounts, you get additional discounts. You get free towing. We don't charge you for that. You have free roadside assistance. If you have AAA, you can cancel that because we'll give you all that. And she says, we'll allow you to pay your premium using your credit card. So if you get like 3% or 4% cash back, you can pay everything with your credit card and get cash back. And you get an additional 2% cash back when you're charging everything at Costco. So I totaled up all the savings, and it was like, wow, this is saving me $500. This is too good to be true. She said, and the rep said, nope, this is what we do. This is how Costco insurance works. So then I said, sign me up. And what happened was they got all the information. They sent me an email. They got the documents in the mail. And sure enough, it was unbelievable. I'm saving all this money. So shortly after that happened, two other things. Number one, I said, well, wait a minute. They've got homeowners insurance and they have liability insurance. So I called them back and I asked them the whole thing, and they're sure enough, I'm saving even more money. So I switched my auto, my home, and my liability insurance to them. And before I did all that, by the way, I went online, I did an internet search, and they're like, yep, everybody had the best things to say. So in other words, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't dealing with, Costco is saving me all this money, but their services and their benefits were terrible. But here's what happened shortly thereafter. One particular year, I got rear-ended at a stop sign. And somebody admitted they were texting or driving. They plowed right into the back of my car. I said, well, let's see what happens now with Costco insurance. Well, bottom line is it could not have been any easier. They were excellent in corresponding with me via email. They were perfect in returning my phone calls if I had them, if there was a reason for me to talk to them versus emailing them. Everything, the car, what do you call it? The car rental aspect of it was perfect. I mean, everything was perfect. So I've gone on, and I've told this story to a few other people, and I said, listen, here's the bottom line to the happy ending of the story. I'm going to urge you to call them, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to do, because here's what's going to happen if you call them. Number one, first of all, take a moment and don't put this off, because if you can save $200, $300, $400, $500 a year over 5-10 years, all of a sudden you're saving $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, exactly like I did. I've been saving, I figured out about $700 a year over, and in a 10-year period, that was $7,000, and that was after tax money. I figured out it saved me at least $10,000 over that period of time, and more over the longer that I stay with it. So number one, here's the key. Grab your coverage sheet. This is a 10-minute phone call. Trust me, it's a 10-minute phone call. Get your current insurance coverage sheet and call the number I'm going to give you in a minute. And then talk to the representative. Even if you're not a Costco member, make the phone call. And then say, listen, here's my coverage sheet. That person will tell you exactly. And then you're going to say, number one, I'm not a Costco member, but please give me a quote as though I was a Costco member, because right now a Costco membership, as I'm making this podcast, is costing $60 a year for 2 different cards. So if you're going to be able to save $60 a year, well, in my opinion, you may want to, even if there's not a Costco around you, if you're going to save $60 a year, become a member of Costco, because if nothing else, even if there's not a Costco around you, you can be using their website. You're buying everything at almost basic wholesale prices. I mean, Costco is not one of the largest retailers in the world by accident. So many people get so many benefits from using Costco. So even if you're not a Costco member, but ask, are you going to save at least $60 a month? If you are a Costco member, now you're going to be able to compare apples and apples, with what your insurance is now versus a Costco insurance. And then if you're not an executive member, ask the personnel rep on the Costco phone line, hey, what additional benefits am I going to get from being a Costco executive member? And then that way you'll be able to determine if you want to stay a regular member or a business or an executive member. And here's the happy ending. And if you call them and you're not able to save any money, well, then you'll be able to know that the current policy that you have is an excellent policy. Because based on my 20 friends that have all joined, and every one of them said they're saving lots and lots of money, if you've got a policy now that you're not going to save money on, again, then you can be really reassured in your mind that what you've got is really working out perfect for you. So here's the number to call. And again, let me make this clear. Like I said at the beginning, I've got nothing to gain from this. I'm just sharing this as part of my podcast. Hopefully you'll listen. Maybe you'll share this with other people. I'm growing my podcasting channel, whatever. But just call this number and find out. It's a 10-minute, hopefully you'll be able to get your hands on your auto insurance coverage sheet quite easily. Hopefully you know where it is. Grab it. And if not, call your current insurance company and say, listen, send me another copy of it. I lost it. Then number two, once you've got that policy in front of you, call the number and then find out what happens. It's going to take 10 minutes of your time. That's it. So here's the number. And everything I'm saying, just go on to whatever, Costco.com or CostcoInsurance.com or whatever it might be, and you'll verify that everything I'm saying is correct. Call 1-855-531-9253. Again, 855-531-9253. That's the phone number that's accurate as the day I'm making this podcast. Who knows? They could change their phone number tomorrow. I doubt it. But if, like I said, just go to Costco.com or CostcoInsurance.com and see what happens. So that's it. I'm hoping the happy ending is either A, you're going to save money, or B, you're going to know that your current insurance is excellent insurance or excellent coverage. So there's that. Please stay with me for another maybe minute or so, because I will say again, thank you for listening to this podcast. I make quick podcasts like this. This is one of my longer ones, but I make podcasts like this for you every single day on areas of your life that I presume are very important to you. Number one, I presume you want to have great health, excellent health. Number two, you want to have lots of free time. Number three, you want to have lots of money. And number four, you want to have really good habits. I make podcasts like this every single day that's going to help you. And I would ask you that if you found value in this podcast and scroll through my other podcasts, please hit the subscribe button. And I promise you, you'll get a podcast from me every day. It goes right into your YouTube channel. There's no junk email. There's no obligation or pressure or gimmicks or nothing like that. Every podcast is going to have excellent information. I know it's going to help you. I know it's going to help your family. It's going to help you live an easier life, a simple life, and reduce stress. So that's it. That's the gig today. Please, if you got any comments, if I did a good job, list them in the comment section below. And please share this podcast with your family and friends, just like I've done. I was doing it via email and during phone calls, but push this button, share it to your friends, and scroll through my other podcasts that you see online now. Maybe there's, not maybe, I'm sure there's a lot of other great things on there that I think you'll find useful. So that's it. Thanks for staying with me here. What is it here? 11, almost 12 minutes. I appreciate you being here. I one way or the other, like I said, hopefully you're going to be able to save lots and lots of money, or if nothing else, like I said, you got a really good insurance policy premium now. So thank you. I'll talk to you tomorrow.